भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। रीडिंग फ्रॉम श्रीमद् भागवतम बाय हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 4, Sati quits her body. So we have just completed a section where there was a great sky that is a great cry that is being aroused from the universe. Now we enter the final section of this chapter. That is Rubus drive away Lord Shiva's attendants. So this is text 31 to 34. Come to text 31. वदत्येवं जने सत्याः दृष्ट्वा असुत्यागतमम् अद्भुमम् दक्षं तत्पार्षदा हन्तुम् उदतिष्ठन् उदायुधाः. Translation.
While people were talking among themselves about the wonderful voluntary death of Sati, the attendants who had come with her readied themselves to kill Daksha with their weapons. Purport: the attendants who came with Sati were meant to protect her from calamities, but since they were unable to protect their master's wife, they decided to die for her, and before dying they wanted to kill Daksha. It is the duty of attendants to give protection to their master, and in case of failure, it is their duty to die. Hare Krishna.
So the attendants that Sati's party included many Lord Shiva's followers. They now wanted to avenge Daksha, the Rubus, and thus they decided to kill Daksha. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that they were unable to protect Sati, their master, Lord Shiva's wife, and thus they decided to die for her. So these are the personal bodyguards, and therefore they decided first to take avenge Daksha, and then they will die. And this is how they prepared to kill. There is example of like this. There are many examples like this. That the captain of a ship, Indian Navy, or any navy for that matter, is supposed to die with the ship. And there was a very powerful captain who Indian Navy in 1971 war. He could not protect his ship. He asked all his soldiers to, get away to save themselves, but he just went down with the ship. Another history is there, the Chetak horse, dying with Prithviraj Chauhan. So this Prabhupada, right? This is the attendant's duty, right? To die. Die means die for a cause. This is very important. Not the physical death. Die for a cause. So we as a devotee, we have a cause of Prithvi Tyache Nagaradigram. Sarvatra Prachar Hoi Bhi Moranam. So all our energy should be, the dovetail towards for this cause of reaching Krishna consciousness. Text 32. Teshamapatatvegam nishamya bhagavan bhrugu yajnagna dhyeya jajusham dakshinagnav juhavaha. Translation.
Translation: they came forward forcibly But Bhrigu Muni saw the danger and offering oblations into the southern side of the sacrificial fire, immediately uttered mantric hymns from the Yajurveda by which the destroyers of the yajnic performances could be killed immediately. Purport: here is one example of powerful hymns in the Vedas which, when chanted, could perform wonderful acts. In the present age of Kali, it is not possible to find expert mantra chanters. Therefore, all the sacrifices recommended in the Vedas are forbidden in this age. The only sacrifice recommended in this age is the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, because in this age it is not possible to accumulate the needed funds for performing sacrifices, not to speak of finding expert brahmanas who can chant the mantras perfectly. Hare Krishna.
So the Bhrigu, he saw the danger. Tesham apadatvegam. They were coming with great force to kill Daksha. And Nishamya Bhagavan Bhrigu. So Bhagavan Bhrigu means Bhrigu, the master of all mystics, extremely powerful sage. Here he is also called as Bhagavan. He saw the danger and then immediately Yajna Gnena Yajusha. There are mantras from the Yajurveda. He chanted the mantras from the Yajurveda so that the protecting elements of the Yajna, they arose and they just began to drive away these Rishabhas who were trying to come and kill the Yajna Yajaman, in this case, Bhrigu. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explained, this is how powerful, this is an example of what is the power in the Vedas. Now, Vedas, what we have is very, very less. Less than 5% of the Vedas is available. So we say that, the original Vedas are 1 lakh crore or 100 abja. Like 100 crore is 1 abja. So 100 abja is the Vedic. So that happens to be 1 lakh crore. Now available number of Vedas is not less than even 5% of what is available now. And so first thing is the Vedas are not available. Second thing is that powerful Brahmanas who could arouse such things simply by uttering of the mantras, they are not available. Neither the funds to accumulate, to spend on the yajna, that is available. So in Kali Yuga, all different sacrifices are forbidden, yajnas are forbidden. Only yajna is yajnai sankirtana prayai yajanti sumedasaha. This is important. So whenever we have some griha pravesh, vastu shant or other things, albeit we do all the yajna and everything, whatever that vastu shanti is, but the most important is to call the devotees and have Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan going on. Because that is the real and only yajna. Rest all is filler, right? So yajnai sankirtana praye yajanti sumedasaha. Text 33. So this is Bhagavan Bhrigu, extremely powerful Bhrigu Muni. Text 33. Ardhvaryunad bhuyamane deva utpayetu ojasah Rushabho nama tapasa somam prapta sahasrashah. Translation.
When Bhrigu Muni offered the oblations in the fire, immediately many thousands of demigods named Bhrigus became manifested. All of them were powerful, having achieved strength from Soma, the moon. Purport: it is stated here that many thousands of demigods named Bhrigus became manifested because of the oblations offered in the fire, and the chanting of the hymns from the Yajurveda. Brahmanas like Bhrigu Muni were so powerful that they could create such powerful demigods simply by chanting the Vedic mantras. Vedic mantras are still available, but the chanters are not. By chanting Vedic mantras or chanting the Gayatri or Rig mantra, one can attain the result one desires. In the present age of Kali, it is recommended by Lord Chaitanya that simply by chanting Hare Krishna, one can attain all perfection. Hare Krishna.
So Bhrigu, when he chanted mantras, many Rubus, they arise. Who are the Rubus? Rubus are the personalities who are protector of the yajna. They are the thousands of demigods. They arose from the sacrificial fire and thus achieved their strength from the Soma. They were extremely powerful. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, that many thousands of demigods, they were aroused from the fire, yajna, by the powerful chanting of Bhrugumani. So Bhrugumani was so powerful that he could chant the mantras and he could arouse the result. Prabhupada says the mantras are still available, but the powerful brahmanas are missing, right? And therefore, so mantras are available, the chanters are not. This Gayatri mantra, Rig mantras, they are available. But the result one will not have that kind of a result because those qualified brahmanas are missing. And therefore, in this age, Prabhupada will again come back, not to miss the basics. In this age, the only sacrifice, many times people feel that, let me also do that. There is a newer and newer people want to do something. People want to do Agnihotra, get up at 6 o'clock and do something and, do this sacrifice, that sacrifice. We are not against anything. But the point is, for the ultimate elevation, the only sacrifice that is recommended is Yagyai Sankirtana Prayai Yajanti Hi Sumedasah. Now here you can see grandfatherly love by Srila Prabhupada, right? Such a Prakanda Pandit Srila Prabhupada is. But in the purport, he keeps us bringing back to the same, back to the basics. Like there is some yagya is being explained, Prabhupada will explain what the yagya is and will remind that no, but in this age of Kali, the only yagya is yagyai sankirtana praya. Don't get distracted. Kali Yuga, nothing is going to work. Only going to work is yagyai sankirtana praya yajantihi sumedasaha, the method of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Text 34. तैलातायुधैर् सर्वे प्रमथाः सह गुह्यकाः हन्यमानादिशभ्येजुः उषद्धि ब्रह्म तेजसा. Translation.
When the demigods attacked the ghost and Guryakas with half-burnt fuel from the Yajna fire, all these attendants of the Satī fled in different directions and disappeared. This was possible simply because of Brahma Tejas, Brahmanical power. Purport: the word Brahma Tejasa used in this verse is significant. In those days, Brahmanas were so powerful that simply by desiring and by chanting a Vedic mantra, they could accomplish very wonderful effects. But in the present age of degradation, there are no such Brahmanas. According to the Pancharatrika system, in this age, the entire population is supposed to consist of Shudras because the Brahminical culture has been lost. But if anyone displays the signs of understanding Krishna consciousness, he should be accepted according to Vaiṣṇava Smriti regulations as a prospective Brahmana and should be given all facilities to achieve the highest perfection. The most magnanimous gift of Lord Chaitanya's is that highest perfection of life is available in this fallen age if one simply adopts the process of chanting Hare Krishna, which is able to bring about the fulfillment of all activities in self-realization. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 4th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam entitled Satī quits her body.
So these powerful Rubhus, so Bhrigu gave birth to Rubhus from the Yagyas. So these Rubhu demigods attacked ghosts and the Guyyakas, who were attendants of Satī, with the Yajnik wood which was half burnt. And these attendants of Satī fled in different directions and disappeared. And this was possible, Prabhupada, here because of Brahma Tejasa, the extremely powerful Brahminical power. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that the Brahma Tejas is very significant. In those days, Brahmanas were so powerful that simply by desiring and chanting a Vedic mantra, they could accomplish very amazing things. Later, in this very canto, we are going to see Hunkara Matrena. Simply by the Hunkar, they killed Vena on the spot, right? On the throne, and they just dethroned him. This is the power. That is the power of the Hunkar of the Brahmana, who is qualified Brahman. But in this age of Kali, Pancharatraka system says, Kalau Shudra Sambhavaha, that most of the population will be born as Shudra. Most means almost everyone. So sometimes, this is the Kali Yuga population is almost a Shudra population will be born. And because lack of the Garbhadan Samskar, lack of the facilities of Gurukul and other things, this is the case. But the good news is that when somebody starts on the spiritual path, and especially on the path of Krishna consciousness, and starts understanding Krishna consciousness, he starts acquiring Brahminical qualifications. And Prabhupada says, this is Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. This is the most magnanimous gift of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is that the highest perfection of life is available to the most fallen age and to the most fallen people by the easiest method. What that means is that we take the dumbest student and guarantee that student with minimum studies, we give him IIT Bombay Computer Science. Right? So what is the qualification? The qualification should be, you should be 10th fail, and you come to our class. 2 hours dancing, 1 hour of study, and we guarantee you that you become computer science IIT Bombay. So this is the potency of Mahaprabhu, and this is the potency of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And Prabhupada says that is possible when simply adopts the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The exposition of the philosophy that is being made available, and the easiness of access to the message of Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is unheard in the history of not just humanity, but even the Vaiṣṇava history. And especially after appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and especially within that era, after appearance of Srila Prabhupada, the things are available like water, right? The holy name of the Lord, the message of Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, these were all unheard of, even for a personality like Bhrigu, who is called here as Bhagavan Bhrigu, Brahma Tejasa. So this is purely mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So this is how we conclude Canto 4, Chapter 4, Sati quits her body. Is there any question, comment, discussion? Else we go to 5th chapter.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
A couple of questions, Prabhuji, I have.
Yeah.
In the last chapter, Prabhuji, we saw Nandishwara also got angry upon Lord Shiva getting insulted by Daksha. And in this chapter, similar sort of thing is also seen. Nandishwara is also angry, Sati is also angry. However, there is difference in their anger, Prabhuji. So has that got something to do with the presence or absence of Shiva in the sacrificial or maybe in the particular assembly? Means
Nandishwara got angry, yes. Nandishwara got
whereas
angry.
the other anger is glorified.
Yeah, right. Prabhupada writes there also, Nandishwara becoming angry. Prabhupada writes two perspectives, both of them. That one is conducted in the mode of tamas, and another is the anger is also justified because he was rightly angry. Nobody should tolerate Vaiṣṇava aparadha. So both aspects are there in Nandishwara's anger also. Similarly, in Sati's anger is also just glorified. That Sati, she is Sati, she is the Durga personified. She is Parvati. So her anger is also glorified in a way that she just wanted to give up. But the extent of anger was too much of anger. And they are the trendsetter personalities like that they are. So Sati is Sati, right? So in general, anger is bad. It is very difficult to have a very justified anger, which is Prabhupada writes. Prabhupada's classic examples for this are anger of Hanumanji, burning Lanka, anger of Arjuna, destroying the Kuru army in the Kurukshetra, or anger of Bhimasena, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's anger when Jagai Madai attacking Nityananda Prabhu. So these are some of the classical examples of rightly engaged anger. But otherwise, anger is such a thing that which can very easily take over. I mean, I have one personal story about it. Many years back, I was, me and Parmeshwari, we were doing some skits. And we are doing some skits where, husband and wife and how they engage in the house and how some situations arise and how one should be supposed to be controlling. And, one skit we are supposed to show that husband is very coolly taking. Another skit we are supposed to show that husband is very angry with the wife. So in that drama, I was supposed to become very angry, but the drama became so real, I actually became very angry in the drama. Of course, then I realized that I'm in the drama, and then, but devotees, they barabar they pakad liya. They said that Prabhuji, you were actually angry. We could see that. And I said, no, it was my drama and all that. But anger is very difficult to employ. It is not easy. One may say I can become just rightly angry, but it is very difficult. So basically one should not be angry. And another thing is, whenever one is angry, one should not become physical. Sometimes, children, especially young children, we become angry, thapad dete, and that's what the parenting we have gone through. And we just continue that parenting to our children. But now what has happened is children have become more delicate and parents have become very strong. So, one should never resort to the physical beating of the child, or this is like very common in India. I mean, we have all done that. And we have, ourselves have tolerated all that from our parents. But it is important, that anger has to be curtailed. We cannot justify generally the anger, because anger just goes uncontrolled. And that's why there are three gates, right? Trividham narakasya idam dwaram atmanashana kama krodha tatha lobhas tasmadetat triyam tejit. Right?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
And maybe one more question, Prabhuji, if I can ask.
Please. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have time.
So, Prabhuji, Daksha's ego, that is bodily conception, is so high that he becomes completely blind that his own child is giving up the body. So, any practical tips, Prabhuji, that we can learn from this particular chapter to reduce our ego, bodily understanding?
Again, I mean, I'm fully as practicing as everybody, but whatever I'm learned, I can just share. That one thing is that, samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam yoga uchyate means trying to avoid excessive any emotions is very important. Like many times I tell devotees also, one should not be extremely even inspired by somebody, that you sell off your brain and viveka buddhi to somebody. No, you cannot, you should not. So I mean, I'll not take whom you should not be extremely, but any emotion, even a good emotion. One devotee yesterday was telling me, Prabhuji, my problem is I feel extremely grateful. I told him it's a big problem. Don't feel extremely grateful. What happens is that any emotions on extreme becomes a problem. Like, there were devotees in ISKCON, they said that my guru is the best guru. And they have gone to another pendulum. The pendulum is to one extreme. My guru is the only guru and the best guru. And they have gone to another pendulum is every guru is a bad guru. Only Prabhupada is the guru. Right? Or they have given up their guru. So I'm in anything and everything. This is, the guiding verse. Yuktahara viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. One should strike for a balance. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Coming to samatva. Right. So this is one. But this is something that, trying to coming to the balance. And this is very important that, sometimes we become angry. So while becoming anger is there is a very wonderful solution there. You just take a deep breath, and breath very powerfully controls emotions. Right. Breathing is so powerful that when we are mindful of breathing, so you take a deep breath inside, like, I mean, a good practice is that, you inhale with half the Mahamantra, deep inhale, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, lasting for that full half Mahamantra, and deep exhale for return Mahamantra, remaining Mahamantra, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Just do this 3 times, let's all do that. We have anyway completed the chapter. Next page is the blank page. So we have covered that about 5-6 pages of the day. Just, 3 breaths, deep breathing inside half Mahamantra, and outside breath, leaving breath, and remaining half Mahamantra. Right. So what happens is when we control breath, we greatly control emotions, not only just for anger, any other thing. Sometimes you are just feeling very insecure, envious, angry, or we may be feeling some any other emotions. Breath is a very powerful weapon, right? So this can be utilized from the yoga shastras, from the all the pranayam and everything. This can be very powerfully utilized for one's controlling emotions. And this is for every emotion. This works in a big way. And rest, we have. So one thing is samatvam yoga uchyate, trying to come to the samatva on the platform of equanimity. The third thing is, you remember somebody who is, that personification of sattva guna for you in the life. For me, that one personality is His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrit Swami Maharaj. When you simply think of him, you become I personally come in the mode of goodness. Such a personality, my goodness, his goodness only, goodness personified. So everybody will have somebody like that in their life, that, we just think of him. When one thinks of one's spiritual master, one thinks of one's Shiksha Guru, or one thinks of one's, generally between spiritual master and Shiksha Guru. This is some very high pedestal personalities we should think of. And then one can come to, so three things we saw. One thing is, what was the three things? One thing is striving for equanimity, samatvam, and avoiding the extreme emotions. Second thing is, the breath control when we are during going through the event. And third thing is remembering somebody who is, on a very high pedestal, that Guru Krupa, one's Siksha Guru or one's Diksha Guru. So one can come to, where one can very easily come back to the, the samatva. Right?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. This is indeed very, very useful.
Anything else? We have a couple of minutes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. I have one question about yesterday Rulmila Mataji's lectures. She explained about the Ashwasthama. He killed Draupadi's son, and Draupadi wants to forgive him, but Bhima doesn't want to forgive him. He wants to punish him. But this incident, this example, how can we take current situation in our life?
Yeah, so in the example of, the Arjuna is in the perplexity, in the predicament, because Draupadi wanted to forgive Ashwatthama because she is on a very high pedestal, Mahabhagavat devotee, and she is thinking from a motherly perspective there. Now she is not a Kshatrani, she is mother, and she is thinking, I have gone through the pain of, the loss of the child. All her children were killed by this rogue Ashwatthama only. Now I don't want our, Guru Mata, Krupi, who is the wife of Dronacharya, to go through the same pain by killing Ashwatthama. And in her case, Draupadi feels that in my case, at least my husbands are alive. But in her case, her husband is also killed, Dronacharya. And if again she suffers the death of Ashwatthama, it will be too unbearable for her. She is living because otherwise she would have gone Satī, but she is living for Ashwatthama. And that is her motherly nature. So Draupadi is a Mahabhagavata devotee. Sometimes, we see only Draupadi as a Kshatrani, powerful personality who has just become angry and offended and, is the cause of Mahabharat war. But she is the eternal associate of Lord Krishna, right? And on the other hand, Bhima is also justified that such a rogue who is killing, and this is not a battle killing, this is a murder when children are sleeping on the bed and this Ashwatthama is killing them. And for such a person, the right punishment is that, the killing of this Atitayana. And so the predicament is Draupadi wants to forgive Ashwatthama and Bhima, and then Lord Krishna also pitches in and he said, yeah, I also want what Bhima wants to do. And he also says that Ashwatthama should be killed. And now Arjuna has to satisfy both of them. And Arjuna very intelligently, he takes the way. And what Mataji was explaining yesterday was that Dharma is not just a set of rule books. Dharma is the dance with will of the Supreme Lord. Okay. So it is not that, Dharma means you just have some Dharma Grantha and you put the Dharma Grantha and, put the finger there, but iske liye ye saja hai. This is the punishment for this offense, this crime, or this mistake. That is not exactly dharma. Dharma is a very fluid concept. So Arjuna, he satisfies both of them, because Arjuna remembers one statement from Bhagavad Gita: for somebody who is honored, dishonor is worse than death. And therefore, he disfigures Ashwatthama, removes the money that he has, and lets him go. So he is dishonored, and which is like death for Ashwatthama, and he's not killed physically, which is like life for Ashwatthama. And this is how Arjuna very dexterously he finds the way between these two big problems. So that was being very beautifully explained by Mataji yesterday. One of the finest class on what the dharma is in a very Krishna conscious way. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Right, Krishna.
Thank you.
So we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Gaura Bhakta ki jai. Thank you,
Jai.
Prabhupada. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.